Hello, I'm Barry, and welcome to our first KYTHE Wingnut Wednesday. So today we're going to look at setting up a basic drum kit. I've been playing drums now for quite a long time, around about 35 years, and we've all got to start somewhere. We've got to learn how to set up our kit. So today what I've got is just basic 5 drums and hardware for the drums and a couple of cymbals. So today, in this first Wingnut Wednesday, we are going to look at setting up a basic 5-piece drum kit. I've seen some young drummers recently, and there's just a few basic things that they're missing out on, and it is something that I thought I would just make a wee video, and it's just worth looking at some of the details in how a drum kit's set up. So let's get right into it. So what you need is a basic foundation for your kit. Now, the kind of kit we're looking at is a rock kit, and at the centre of that kit and at the centre of your sound is the bass drum. So we're going to bring the bass drum into position. So, I mean, think about the space that you're going to be in. Make sure you've got plenty of space around you to set up your drums. The first thing that we're going to look at here is there's a few bits of hardware on the drums, and one of the most important parts of this hardware is the spurs. Okay, so if you come in a bit here, what we've got on this kit, we've got really nice big wing nuts, but on some kits that might be using a drum key or a different style of nut. On this spur, I'm going to tip the drum over a little bit. There's 2 options actually. You've got a spike option and you've got a rubber option for a hard floor. This is, you really want to get into your carpet, just to make sure everybody's okay with that in the house. But again, once you've selected, so you can either screw out for the rubber or you can bring it back for the spike, and then you just secure it where you want it with this kind of washer screw here. Then I position these kind of facing forward so that when I'm kicking the bass drum pedal, it's pushing into it and that's just pushing back on me. There's a variety of ways, you know, some drummers like it straight up like that. I think I'll call it a mistake, but I'm not a professional drummer or roadie, but I have seen some people putting the spur that way. I'm not fully understanding that, because when you're kicking the drum and pushing that way, the drum's probably going to move. So first thing we do is we get that in place, give it a good tighten, and make sure you can't move it with your hands, and get a good thumb tighten there. Not using a spanner or anything here to over tighten things. These drums are set up. This drum kit in particular is very high quality kit, and the quality of the hardware is excellent as well. And so we have a spur at both sides. If you want to just take a quick look at that. And so even pushing with my hand, the drum's not moving forward. It will move up and down. But what we're going to do is we're going to support that again with another piece of hardware in a second. Wingnut Wednesday, scene 4. This is the bass drum pedal. Now this is quite a technical piece of kit. I use a Tama Iron Cobra, and years ago I used to play a bit of double bass drum. This is a double bass drum pedal. Normally a pedal would be very similar with just one beater on it. That would be the norm. It's for setting up this exact same setup for this pedal. The main parts are another wing nut here, and there's a kind of like a big or a large kind of gross movement here for tightening down the pedal and the clamp. So if we come round to the batter side, what we're going to do, you might want to kind of point in there. I'm going to just lift the drum a little bit and making sure that the clamp is on the rubber. You should have rubber on the hoop. You don't have rubber on the hoop. The metal clamp, usually a metal clamp. Sometimes the clamps have actually got rubber on them, but often the metal clamp will go through. And if you've got, like this, has got a lacquer on it, or even if it's just bare wood, if you've got the metal going onto the bare wood, it's going to damage your hoop. And depending on how busy a drummer you are, you might end up having to replace a hoop, which will be more expense, and it's not really necessary. So I'll just slide this off again. What you'll see here is I've got a rubber pad on there. I've also got a rubber pad on the bottom side of my pedal. So when these clamp together, and then tighten the wing nut. And again, don't need to over tighten it. You know, the rubber's gripping it quite well. And we've got now got a nice secure drum. And even standing up, and giving that a good thump, if you point down at the drum, you can see the drum is not going anywhere. Okay, what I've got here is the tom holder. This is a really, really nice tom holder. This is on a Gretsch Renown 2018 model. And what we've got, again, we've got a couple of these Wingnut style adjusters, and we've got a kind of ball in a socket, and that gives a lot of flexibility around where these toms will sit. We're not going to put the toms on right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to put the tom holder in place. Now, I've got this set, so what you will have, hopefully, on your kit is you have got a memory collar. And that means that when you're taking it apart, the memory collar, just, it knows where to go back into place. The memory collar is not the security. It's not what keeps the tom holder from moving around. It's there just to be a memory for where you want your drum set up. So you've got to tighten that wing nut on here, okay? And that, as you can see now, is much more secure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my drum throne or your drum stool into place. And it's now, you're going to build the drums around you. As you bring in the next pieces of hardware, that you basically start to design where you want the kit to fit around you. In any circumstance, it's really important you're comfortable and that when you're moving around the drums, that you can reach what you need to reach, just to be efficient on the drum kit. So I'm going to bring in my stool just now, the drum throne. Now this is another great piece of equipment. I'm going to do a wee plug for DD Drums in Falkirk, who pretty much supplied most of my kit over the years. But this is a great value throne. It's under 100 quid. And as you can see by the hardware on the base, really solid, easy to manoeuvre, and the throne's really comfortable, and it's got just a bit at the back just to give you a wee bit more support so you're not sliding off. A lot of drum stools are vinyl, and you know, I have seen myself in the past getting really adventurous and excited and actually find myself losing balance on the kit. And that again brings its own inefficiencies when you're playing. So I'm going to first position the throne where I might feel like my bass drum pedal's going to sit. Okay, so first position. Now for me, my natural left foot is going to be where my hi-hat's going to sit. So I'm going to bring up the hi-hat next. Now, this is my way of doing it. You do it your way. The main thing is in this program is that you tighten things up and that you're comfortable. We put the two pedal pins in the sides. Open up the tripod. And I like to press it in. Now, on this piece of kit as well, you've got two floor spikes for the carpet as well. Just if you're on a hardwood floor, just make sure they're not out, because they will just cut it to pieces. You can alternatively buy grip pads, or you might want to buy yourself a drum rug to set up your kit. So we get the tripod set, and again, make sure the wing nut's tightened once you're happy that the tripod feels solid on the floor. Come to your stool, bass drum sitting good. Where do you think your foot's going to go? So I'm feeling just about there. For now, that feels fairly comfortable to me. So then go and build up the rest of the hi-hat. So what you've got here is a screwed nut, and just feed it into the thread. And again, make sure it's tight, well thumb tight. Okay, what I've seen in the past is this just been put on the thread, and then as it gets played, this comes off the thread, and then the hi-hat mechanism doesn't work. Now, faulty equipment, or dare I say cheaper equipment, this kind of thread can basically work itself off. So that's something worth thinking about when you're buying. This is quite an old Premier stand, and I've got to be honest with you, it's never let me down in that regard. It's never come apart when I've been playing. It's been solid, and it's still a solid bit of kit. That's round about 25 years old. This, and I think it is the Premier 3000 hardware, if I remember rightly. It was a long time ago. So that's a hi-hat. We'll not put the cymbals on just yet. We'll continue. So the next piece of hardware I'm going to put in place is my snare basket. Excellent.